What's up? Make sure y'all can hear me. Perfect. Alright, how are we doing today, guys? Hope everyone is doing well. Wait for you all to come on in. This is mostly a hangout live stream where we'll talk about GH, but just nothing too major. Hey, Sandy. Glad you made it. But yeah, we are 1 month away from GH's 60th anniversary. Exactly 1 month away. Hey, Kaiwan. No, I think Sandy beat you. Sandy got you beat. But it's good to see you both. But yeah. Interesting day on GH. Nicholas is alive. Barely. And Mason has him. What an interesting way to kick off March. The slap today. Oh, yeah. Obrecht slapping Elizabeth, hey? Child, this episode. Hey, Jake. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I think we all seen this coming as, like, Peter and Finn part 2. But Ava and Austin not really knowing what's going on was kind of funny. Yeah, we knew he wasn't dead. I don't know how I didn't see the Mason, or Mason, whatever his name is, angle at all, because we knew he was planning to go after Ava. So, and then we just never heard about it again, but we knew that he was going to go to the island. That's why Austin, like, went there in the first place. Guy from the Port Charles podcast was right. Man, what did he say? Did he say that Mason had him, or just that Nicholas was alive? Man. But to be honest, I feel like that's the last time we'll physically see him on screen for a while. Nicholas, I mean. It's great that we got to see Adam Huss one more time. But I am pretty sure that he probably filmed that scene on his last day. Probably the same days that he shot his death scenes. Just for them to put it back later. Kind of like, you know, Lucy getting thrown into the water, and they filmed those scenes of her getting out of it a little bit, probably around the same time, maybe. I'm not actually, maybe that didn't happen, because we did see Holly there. Hard to say. Oh, say that Mason had him. Bye, Adam. Listen, I think Adam Huss is a good actor. I'd love to see him back as a new character. But I'm still holding out hope for Tyler to one day return. But I just don't think that we're going to see Nicholas, regardless of who plays him, for a while. Not sure if it was in this chat, but someone speculated Mason was hiding Nicholas. I don't think it was in this chat, but yeah, like, in hindsight, it makes sense that he's the one that has him. Because he was probably watching Ava. He probably went to Spoon Island. And maybe saw her, you know, dragging him in there. But also, like, did he just, like, replace the padlock? Or did he find the key himself? Do you think whoever has Nicholas has Nell Benson? I don't think so. I think Nell's off on her own somewhere else doing her own thing. But this only came out because I think Mason just wants an angle to, you know, use or dangle in front of Austin to make him do his bidding. Because the last time Mason seen Austin, he was done. Or, I mean, Austin was done with working with Mason. But now he has, well, you are an accessory to what you thought was murder. And now I have this body hanging over you. But yeah, I don't know. I think Nell's just doing her own thing, hiding out her own way. And that this is just a way to make Austin work more for Mason and the mystery boss. Man. But yeah, it's been an interesting week so far on GH. I like that Trina and Curtis had like a bit of words with each other to, you know, discuss what comes next for them. And I liked seeing Spencer's guilt over, you know, imploding, you know, his imploding relationship with his father, and him kind of being like, I pushed my father away, and actually feeling remorse. Shows that he always loved Nicholas all along, but, you know, it just stings that he was manipulated into pushing his father away. But Nicholas is also to blame in a lot of ways too, so, you know. Nicholas is an adult, just like Laura said. Do you think the person that has Nicholas is connected to Helena? I really don't. I don't think the writers are going to make the boss that interesting, you know? Like, I think it'd be cool if they did make the mystery boss, like, someone that we all know. Which I haven't ruled out necessarily, but, like, I don't think it's Cassadine related, because, you know, the only time that the Cassadines mattered in this whole Austin story is, like, pretty much now, since Nicholas died. Oh, you think Sonny knows about Dex and... Yeah, I don't know if he knows about Dex and Michael, but I think he knows that Dex has a connection to Pikeman. But at the same time, like, Dex was pretty open about having history with Pikeman, right? Or that company. But Sonny definitely knows something about Dex for sure. Like, honestly, that whole supper, like, despite it being like a really nice conversation between the two, for me it had like Last Supper vibes, you know, like this is the supper before Sonny gets one on Dex. But I just don't think that Sonny's onto the Michael angle. I think he knows that he's working an angle, but he just hasn't figured it out yet. Selena had like a sister or something. Maybe. Unless their boss is Selena. That'd be a twist. We know the boss is a female. And so in terms of like, if it's someone that we know, it could be Selena. It could be Olivia Jerome, because we've seen Cyrus mention her. But since it is mob related, like, well, I guess Olivia Jerome is in the mob, but she's in jail anyway. So, huh. Like, it could be, I mean, it would be cool if they kind of went back and made it like Faith Roscoe and she's been alive this whole time, but that would be quite a feat. Because she was pretty injured by the time Jason was done with her. Let's see. Trying to think of other like female like mob people. What about the drawer heels? Who? What? man. Nah, I'm at a loss. I don't know who could be, but I almost don't care either. The storyline has been going too slow, and it doesn't seem to be picking up speed. Because I think all of us know GH well enough to know that, like, this scene with Nicholas, like, we're in for the long run with the story. Hey, Angel. We're in for the long run for sure. Absolutely. It's the long game. As if the story needed to be any longer than it was. Do. Oh man, what else happened this week so far? Because we're not doing the full recap, guys. Because you know we do that Sundays. But since we're all here and I have no reaction really planned for today, just hanging out and discussing. Does the cars? Do you mean the Zakaras? That text to talk, man. Come on, it's you're a riddle every time. glad the character isn't dead, Nicholas. Yeah. I kind of like I laugh a little bit because it's so, you know, he got clunked on his head, and his heart stopped. Like, but he's alive. Like, it's so weird, but whatever. They had to usher Nicholas out somehow. But now Laura done got 2 kids in comas. Like, that poor woman. And Lucky just doesn't care. He's just out there somewhere doing his thing. But yeah, I just think we're in the long haul for Nicholas coming back. This is just like a little niblet because I remember, well, I was on the message boards earlier on Soap Central, and someone was like, "Oh, well, I have hope that Nicholas will return sooner rather than later." I'm like, "Yo, Lulu's been in a coma for 3 years. Freaking Drew was dead in prison for 2 years. Jason is dead until further notice." So Austin didn't check for a pulse? Well, no, because he was already locked in the room. The only time that Austin saw Nicholas was as she put him in the room and locked it. So he didn't even get a chance to go check his pulse. Like, I suppose they could have gone back in there for him to do it, but he didn't, right? Like, she just kept it shut. And then explained what happened. Cerebral palsy, I can't really... Oh, and I'm French. Oh, okay. Fair enough, Kaiwan. Might get you to teach me a bit more French. So that I'm more ready for Montreal soon. Until further notice, right? Yeah. I mean, Steve Burton's in days. And so however long that contract goes, and if GH can offer him something better. Until further notice. I don't ever want to get sick in Port Charles like doctors like Finn and Austin and Liz as a nurse. Finn and Liz, yeah, but like Austin never got to like do anything to Nicholas. Nicholas was in the room locked in already. Austin just saw him like unconscious, and she locked it and told Austin that he's dead. Like, so, you know, he'll have to, like, you know, teach him. Or he'll have to. Sorry, I zoned out for a second. He'll have to. He'll have to see him for himself, and he might, but it's too late because we know he's alive. The audience knows he's alive anyway. Okay. Angel, Nick's heart must have been real faint. No kidding. Or maybe he doesn't have one because he's a Cassadine, and Cassadines have no souls. Steve is going to be used in days. Well, days for a very long time. It's true. It's true. See, I know. No, here's the thing. I can understand French. I just can't speak it very well. Because French has been around in my family. My grandmother is French. All of her siblings are and were French as well when they were alive. So it's been around. It's just, when you're not in a place that speaks it, you don't get to practice it often. And up until, August, I really didn't, August of last year, I didn't use it for 4 years. Technically a legacy character on days. Okay. Oh man. But yeah, what can we talk about, guys? Well, first off, I want to say, what did you guys think of sweeps overall in February? In my opinion, probably one of the better ones recently. All the Ryan stuff was great. Heather Ryan and Esme escaping, the truth coming out about her parents. The reveal of Nina being Willow's mom, I think, was at the beginning of it, right? So it had its moments throughout. It barely fizzled, I think. Plus the Curtis and Portia and Trina and Taggart reveal as well. It's a bit harder learning English when you go to America, but I did learn a little bit. I understand French too, just don't have good conversational skills. I live in the Midwest. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like people can talk to me in French and I can respond in English. And I feel like it's a confident thing because me and pronunciation with words in French especially, like, oh man, it's rough. The Ryan stuff was good. Trina's paternity. Don't care for Willow's issues. Yeah. Hey, Jakarius. I've been good. How about yourself? Should give pleasure to somebody like Nicholas. The Trina paternity is such a disappointment. I enjoyed it, Jakarius. I think that it was well acted. And, the best is yet to come. Like, at the end of the day, we still gotta kind of get through finding out who is, in fact, Trina's father. So, the only thing that, and I mentioned this last week, or on the Sunday, or maybe it was the previous week. I can't remember now. But I did say I appreciated that GH didn't try to go with the predictable route of having it come out, down the aisle in the Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace thing, because it kind of makes the impact better for the long run rather than just the moment. Because there's a bit more because they are married, and this does kind of ruin the marriage right off the bat instead of them not getting married. Ruth, you said actually it was kind of boring. I'm over the whole thing. It's just draining me out. And the whole Jocelyn Dex thing, I'd rather play Pokemon. I just yeah, the Joss and Dex I couldn't care less about either. I just Evan Hoffer is kind of hot, and that's that on that. I enjoy seeing him on screen, but it's a total physical thing. Oh man. Oh, you've been good. That's good, Jakarius. The best thing to do on a budget, you know what I mean? Not too fancy, not today big. Yeah, like I think honestly because the budgets are so small, which to be honest, on the 60th year for GH, ABC should be giving them a bigger budget for at least the year, you know? Tab and Brooke did an amazing job. Yeah, they did. They did. Curtis is such a hypocrite. He is working for Mr. Wu. Oh, Mrs. Ms. Wu. Today is Maurice's birthday. Oh, happy birthday to Maurice Bernard. I didn't even know that. Actually, no, I did know that. I seen the post on GH, their Instagram. What was the point of Dex cooking Sunny dinner? I think it was just to have what appeared to be a bonding moment between the two. I think Sunny knew that Frank was coming over with news about Dex, and so he just kind of humored him because he obviously his plan was just send him away, right? And then Dex was kind of the one that was like, "Oh, can I actually stick around for a bit and tell you something?" But I will say, as someone who's like a pretty big fan of what GH was in the 90s, had it not been like a lead up to something more, like those kind of scenes are what I appreciated. Just people like just bonding and chit chatting, you know? Like I don't mind like people just having a normal conversation once in a while. And I like that Sunny brought up the Sorellos and, things like that. But, it didn't come off super natural, but I guess that probably has to do with the fact that it is a story beat for Sunny to kind of find out things about Dex. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I appreciate scenes like that. It's just it's a weird one, and because we don't see scenes like that often, it's kind of jarring. But in some ways, I do wish that GH would do scenes like that more. Just having two people like have a normal conversation, and it doesn't necessarily have to move the story in any way, because then it builds like relationships between people. But because this was a plot point, it's kind of like, I think that Maurice and Evan did what they could with the scene, given the situation. Jake says, hopefully the 60th isn't too bland. We'll see, I guess. Scott does not need more more children just randomly popping out. He got Logan, he got Franco. He don't need another one. A long lost son, third one. GH already have too much folks on there. Yeah, I mean honestly, like I can't help but kind of compare this anniversary to like the 50th and the 55th and the 45th, and like obviously the 50th was huge, right? Because that's half a century. And I think that Frank and Ron did a really good job kind of leading up to it. It really felt from January till the end of December that they were celebrating the 50th year. We were seeing characters come back out of the woodworks. They brought back Anna and Robert and Felicia and Mac and Frisco, Faison, Duke, like all these people, including people that we never thought we'd see again, like Rick Weber and Emily Quartermain and Alan Quartermain. There was a lot of fanfare, but the thing is, a lot of those characters are still on the show today. So if you don't have bringing characters, memorable characters back into the woodworks, and what do you do? Like, it means you have to bring it with the actual story. You can't ride on the coattails of the cast from yesteryear when most of them are still on the show today. But in hindsight, again, it is nice that we do have these characters on, and they all have been getting like pretty decent stories, especially recently. Like, you know, the legacy cast. Even Leslie. Yeah, like a lot of people came back. A lot of people. But they don't have that. We know that Tracy's coming back. And that's all we know. There's not been any news about any other cast members coming back. Apart from like Milo, but that's specifically for Epiphany. Even Leslie. Yeah, Lulu is named after her. Lulu is named after Leslie and Lucy Johnson, which was Laura's alias when Luke and Laura were on the run. Leslie Lou Spencer. Scott's pull-up game is just as bad as Sunny's. Yeah, but you know, I'm assuming that Dex is like 21, and I think with that in mind, like he was around, he was on the show, I think. St. John the 50th. That was more Raiders from the 80s. I think I get what you mean. There was a lot of characters from the 80s being brought back, but at the same time, like, that was GH's glory days, essentially. When are they doing the tribute for Epiphany? Towards the end of this month. It's happening before April, and just before the Nurses' Ball. The Nurses' Ball is going to happen the first week of April. So I'm assuming as the Nurses' Ball gets planned out, you know, we're gonna see people find out that Epiphany's dead, and then it'll be a lead up to it. Sean Donnelly did come back for the 50th. Yeah, that's true. He was. Yeah. Sean Donnelly was back for a while too, and Holly came back then as well. Love to see Annie come to Port Charles, but GH is too bloated. Annie was fun, and I love that. Well, I mean, back then we seen someone else play Anna Donnelly, and then when John Riley passed away, and they brought Anna back, they called her Annie instead, and she was played by his real life daughter. And I adore her because I follow her on Instagram, and like I followed her before I even knew that she was John Riley's daughter. I had no idea. But she was just funny on Instagram. She does comedy well. But you know, aside from the tribute, we don't know if she'd be necessarily good at drama. That was more just like a nice Easter egg for GH fans that know him personally. But yeah, I mean, and Angel, when you said maybe it's a surprise, like all of their returns were surprises too, but they happened gradually throughout the year. Like we were getting, you know, like even like towards the end of 2012, we were kind of getting the groundwork put for the 50th year, because Robin and Anna returned when Robin died in 2012, and then slowly but surely we started seeing like Duke and Faison and, you know, Robin being alive and different things here and there. And of course the One Life to Live folks came on as well. But there was like a lot of fanfare. Like you could tell like something was like kind of in the works, slowly but surely. Egg thing? What? Lucy Coe came back in December. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like there was a lot of fanfare from the start of the year up till the end. And the only treat that we've really gotten, like I guess kind of in leading up to it, is kind of like the Victor Cassadine stuff. It seems like that should be the story that comes to head, hopefully by April. Because we got to see like all these, Glory Day characters all working together in a story that was actually quite entertaining. Like, we got Anna and Laura and Holly and Robert, and Mac, and the whole gang really working together against Victor to come out on top. And that was fun to watch. But it seems so separate from the rest of the show right now. Whereas GH, you could kind of feel the vibe all over the entire cast. What are we doing for the 60th? I would say some of the old characters live in other towns. Yeah, but I don't want GH's 60th year to be about other like throwbacks to other soaps, because it's not about them. They're dead and buried. I hate to be that savage, but they were canceled, and probably for good reason. So that's why when like GH got sued for bringing back the One Life to Live characters, I was so glad that like they all got booted off the show just before the anniversary. Like, I was thrilled, y'all. I was like, bye Star, bye freaking John McBain, bye Todd. Like, I didn't miss them one bit. I felt like we got to enjoy GH's 50th anniversary without having to, feed the crumbs to the One Life cast. Oh, Anna's nephew in Port Charles. Too bloated. Well, that's the thing. Like, we can bring back people for the 60th anniversary week and have them just kind of make an appearance. I don't mind that, because we got some of that. Like, even though we had characters stay on permanently, we did get some like guest stars for the 50th, because we got Brenda and Jax back for that week. We got Frisco on. Well, Frisco stuck around for a little bit, but he was on for maybe a month, and he sang at the Nurses Ball. So like little things like that, I don't mind. I hope that GH does that for the Nurses Ball again and makes it a fanfare. But I think in some ways it'll also have to kind of continue the tribute for Sonia Eddy at the Nurses Ball, because the Nurses Ball without Epiphany, when she's been a part of it for the last 10 years, is going to be weird too. And I suppose in order for the Nurses Ball to happen, Lucy Coe's got to, be around for it. And like, yeah, she's back in Port Charles, but she's still, she's supposed to be dead to Victor. So that's got to be resolved in some way too. So it'll be interesting to see how March plays out. Because they ain't going to do the Nurses Ball without Lucy Coe hosting the damn thing. But came back as new characters though. Yeah, but at least they didn't have, ties to One Life. Is all I'm saying. Like, were they great characters? No. But they weren't related to the other soaps. It's just that the actors were on other shows, which is fine because, soaps share the actors with each other. I'm gonna wrap up this whole musical storyline pretty. But yeah, I mean, I feel like, I worry about this, but I think I may end up enjoying Epiphany's tribute more than whatever they have planned for the GH 60th anniversary day. Franco should have said dead. Yeah, I agree with that. Franco should have never been brought back. They did it for shock value, and they had to rewrite 10,000 different things for him just to make the character stick. And I feel like they just, you know, they shoved Franco down our throats and beat us into compliancy. Like, it's just, that's how I felt. Like, we're stuck with him. We have no choice, but so we might as well just accept that he's a part of the canvas now. Austin is working for somebody that used to be a nurse at Portland General Hospital. Franco should have stayed dead. Sorry, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any comments. By the way, y'all, did y'all see like the clips of Tabyana Ali's, aka Trina's 21st birthday? Random segue, I know, but we're just chit-chatting, right? Because Avery and Eden McCoy were both there. And the actor who plays TJ and the actor who plays Curtis, they were there as well. So GH was represented well over there. A little surprised that Nicholas Chavez was not there. But maybe he's just not much of a partier. I don't know. Gonna be the benefactor for the nurses' ball. I hope not. Saw the pictures. Yeah, there's like video footage of them on like a red carpet thing. I can find that if you guys want. Tabyana was so cute. She seems like she's got like a good family, you know what I mean? It is nice that they're all friendly behind the scenes. Yeah. Well, that's what I appreciate. People like, I think soap fans can get carried away into like the rivalries for the characters, and they don't realize that like, oh, hey, these guys can actually be friends. It's like Kelly Monaco fans and Becky Herbst fans were like at each other's throats constantly, but Becky and Kelly seem really close in real life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it gets ridiculous. What did I do on my 21st birthday? I don't even remember. Well, first of all, no one cares about 21 in Canada because the legal drinking age here is 18. But on my 18th birthday, I had the flu. I didn't do anything for it. And I just let that go. 21st, I probably... Ooh, I don't know. I know what I did for my 19th birthday. I actually went all out for it. Just because I couldn't on my 18th. But yeah, I don't think I did anything special for my 21st. She is really close to her mom. Yeah, she really is. I like that when she had her interview with Steve and Brad, that her mom was kind of right in the corner watching the interview the whole time. Probably just making sure her girl is protected. She seems, yeah. She seems like a good mom, like a genuinely good mom. And she seems like she's raised right, you know? Oops. Sorry, I found the video from the red carpet of Tabyana's birthday event. Hung out with your mom at the Eiffel Tower. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, I've always wanted to go to Paris. I have friends that live in Paris, but I haven't been able to go yet. It's on the bucket list, though. I will play the red carpet stuff. Some of it anyway, because obviously there's like her other friends there too and stuff. So that doesn't really matter. Alright, we'll full screen this. Miss Avery Pohl. Angel, you said, I know my cousins gave me alcohol and threw me a party at her apartment. I was recovering from my foot being infected. Oh no! That was your 21st.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, but like 21 is like a big thing in the States, right? Like, especially for like girls, like they have their sweet 16s and they have their 21st. Like, it's not even as chaotic here for like any milestone birthdays. Like, yeah, we might party it up like slightly bigger than like a normal random birthday that's not 18. But like, I didn't do anything for my 16th. My 18th, I would have maybe just gone out to a nightclub, you know, like nothing big. I didn't have as many friends back then either, though, so like, who knows?
A little wave to the camera.
That's her mom, y'all.
Video for video, a little wave.
That is Tabiana's mom. And dad. In the last shot, I think. I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. That was my 21st. You can legally drink at 21. We can legally drink at 18 here, y'all. Like, we didn't have, like, you know, I get that that's big, but our legal drinking age here is 18. So, y'all had to wait 3 more years for that. I think there's some parts of Canada, not many now, that's 19, but overall 18. 16th you can drive a car, 25 you can rent a car. Yeah, but I didn't see those major milestones either, you know, like, I don't, you know. I'm assuming these are Tabiana's other friends and maybe family members as well. Hard to say. But like, I mean, I'm assuming that Tabiana's family has money, because like, a red carpet birthday with like Getty Images doing like the red carpet seems like a bit, you know. 18 is when you were a legal adult. Yeah, here it's the legal adult and the drinking age. Drinking age is 15 over there? Damn. But you know what? I was honestly a good kid. I think...
Thank you guys so much.
I think I only drank once before I was 18. And it was just like a drink. Just to say that I tried it. She had a red carpet birthday? Yeah, this is like her birthday. Like, look. Look at this.
Give me a little wave for the video right here.
Birthday queen. She looked good, though.
Tell 'em what's going
And she seems like such a sweetheart. I can't with her. Like, if you guys seen her interviews with Stephen Bradford and even like with Maurice a couple months back, like, she seems like the sweetest girl in the world.
Can you give a little birthday shout out?
Yes, you know I love you. I cannot believe you're 21, but you're still not grown. You still can't rent a car, so you're still my daughter.
I'm also a guy, though, guys. Keep that in mind, because guys, I don't think, do it up too big for their birthdays, generally speaking. She had a red carpet birthday. Oh, yeah, I had one at 19 or 18. That was a big deal. That's funny. My mom used to do polls. Do you mean like poses? Like that?
Cool. Give me a little wave right here.
She had her own money too now. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Happy birthday, Tabiana, 21.
Look at TJ.
Happy birthday, so happy for you.
He seems like such a good guy too. Only ever taken sips, I don't drink at all, though. That's fair, Jake. Alcohol is expensive. I'm probably gonna get more expensive with inflation, y'all. Mom looks so young. There's the trio. Happy 60th. Also, she did an interview with her mother and aunt on Taggart's channel. Oh wow, really? I didn't see that. Well, okay, I don't follow Taggart's stuff though. I know he does a podcast. Well, that's cool. And with her mom and aunt as well. Yeah, I think she mentioned on Steve and Bradford's thing that her aunt was in, or was it her aunt or her mom did some acting as well? There's Curtis. Daddy and cousin.
Over here for the video vibe.
Mom is in his pictures like, oh, two pictures like that. Okay, cool. I'm assuming that might be her sister.
Right here for video, ladies. Beautiful, beautiful.
Can I say something? Can we wave?
Yeah, say something. Go for it.
Hello.
Cute.
Happy birthday to you.
My God, look at him, sharp, handsome.
I think it's really cool that Curtis showed up. Donnell Turner. Just because, you know, he's like a grown-ass man, but like he's just out there celebrating his potential daughter's birthday. Or potential TV daughter's birthday, I should say.
Good. Give me a little wave right here.
You think that's my mom, or you think that's her mom? It is her mom, if you're talking about her mom. My mom and I barely take pictures together.
Give me a couple looks for video. Give me a shout out. Yep.
Happy birthday to Abby. Happy 21st.
Oh, she called her Tabby. It's a cool little
Thank you so
nickname.
much. Right here. Video, a couple
I know. I said it already. Like, I can separate the actors from the characters, but it is pretty funny seeing these two like get along so well. I'm also really glad that like Eden and Tabby seem to have like a good friendship off screen too, because that does kind of help in a way for their on screen
Beautiful,
chemistry.
beautiful, love it.
If you can get along off set, it comes across on set too. And that's why I think Donnell and Tabiana play off so well from each other too.
Awesome, thank you. Action, give me a little look for the video, fashion.
This guy looked like a TikToker. Hey Nathan. Welcome to the We're Just Hanging Out chat, the live stream. We're actually just looking at a video from Tabiana, who plays Trina's 21st birthday. Because Eden McCoy was there, and Avery Pohl was there, and Donnell Turner, and I forget the actor who plays TJ, but he was there as well. The actor's name, I mean. Oh man, well, grow me back. There we go. By the way, shout out to those who gave me some love on the single preview that I did on the live stream last week, or on Sunday, sorry. Because some of you commented after, because I didn't delete the live stream. I really should, because, you know, that single's going to be out soon. But But thanks for the love on it, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I wish I had more to share on GH. There's not really like too much GH news going on. There's not really too many things to discuss that we haven't discussed already so far this week. Just that we're 1 month away from the anniversary. I am getting nervous because it seems to be like a slow burn, which, oof. You know, when you're celebrating an anniversary that's big like this, you want to go all out, and it doesn't feel like they are yet. It feels like they're going all out more so behind the scenes than they are on the actual show. Because, like, there wasn't this big social media fanfare of all these throwback photos, like, on the 50th and things like that, you know? Oh, what does the guy that played Milo do now? Well, yeah, he's retired from acting. I want to say he's like a health and life instructor. Like, obviously, he's, like, physically fit, and I think he's a fitness instructor or something. Man. But no, I really want to see some fanfare, like, on GH. Because, like, they should be, like, going all out. They should be going all out and celebrating on the show and off screen, too. Because, like, yeah, it's super great that they have the People magazine and that they did, like, the really big cast photo and stuff. But, like, what else? Nothing's happened. I just want to feel the celebration kicking in, or, like, slowly kicking in, and it's not. Hey, Shakira. Thought Milo was a personal trainer. See, that makes sense to me. Like Steve and Steve's soon-to-be they're not divorced yet? I thought they sure would be divorced by now. Yeah, needless to say, I don't pay much attention to, like, too much of the personal lives of the soap stars. Like, yeah, I follow them on Instagram, but I barely check it. Like, I just kind of skim the GH Instagrams for, like, cool GH-related photos. But again, I'm not on, like, the Twitter. I'm not on, you know... I guess really, Twitter is probably where they put all their most personal stuff. But I'm just not on there, and I try to keep the personal stuff of the actors kind of off my mind as often as I can. Sometimes you can't help it because it ends up being on, like, you know, on the regular websites like Soap Central and stuff, and, like, the headlines, and then maybe then I'll click it. But it, like, unless it, you know, I'm doing that, then I'm not gonna see too much of it. Don't think so. I think Steve stopped wearing his wedding ring. Well, I mean, the marriage is over. Steve has fitness classes. Okay. But he probably can't do them as often now because he's back on a show again, right? So I know we probably, I don't watch Days, but they shoot like 6 months ahead, right? So it's still going to be a while before people actually see him on the screen. Alright, well, there's not much left to do on this live stream. Do you guys have any, like, comments about GH before we end it? Anything you'd like to say or discuss? Let me know, let me know. Any predictions? Any theories as to why Mason is holding Nicholas? For me, in my opinion, I mentioned it earlier, I just think that he's just going to use him to get Austin to do his bidding. So is our man Luke coming back for Laura or not? Well, he's not going to come back for Laura. But I feel like in terms of Luke and the possibility of him coming back, it's hard to say because on the one hand, Tony seemed done with GH, you know? When Jane Elliott retired, he didn't even bother, you know, saying a line when he made an appearance. But I would assume if they're bringing Tracy back, though, like, Luke's gonna have to get involved in some way. Because what other storyline could she be a part of besides the, like, you know, the ongoing Cassadine saga and seeking vengeance for Luke? But yeah, I think, you know, obviously if he is coming back, obviously GH is going to keep that one under wraps. Because, for all intents and purposes, the character is dead right now. Maybe they will send Nicholas to Nixon Falls. I would sooner, or I would rather, never see Nixon Falls again. Nixon Falls can blow up in an explosion. And, like, it just doesn't exist anymore. Hey, listen, Yvette. Listen. I'm a Luke and Laura fan. All right, you know, when Laura first came back in 2006, I binged their entire '80s saga. Okay, I'm a fan. I would love Luke and Laura to get back together, but if Luke is coming back, he's coming back for Tracy, and Laura is with Kevin, and they seem to be on solid ground. So I don't see that changing, especially if Luke is just going to make a tiny appearance. If GH were to end, I don't even think that they would make them endgame, even though, like, you know, they technically should. But it's just, you know, it's a moment in time now. But I like Jeannie Francis, okay? I want her on the show still. Jeannie is GH. I shouted that shit for like months when they had let her go for that, you know, whatever it was, year, half a year, whatever. But I think that the fans really played a role in her coming back because people were hugely pissed off when they wrote her off. Maybe the person that has Nicholas is connected to Luke. I doubt it. Glad to hear you're a hardcore fan. I just can't move on. And Laura Collins, really. Well, it's, you know, at the end of the day, like, the reality of the situation with Luke and Laura is that Tony Geary, for whatever his reasons, fought hard to make sure that the couple would not get back together, to make it, you know, obvious that Luke is over Laura as a romantic partner and that he's all in with Tracy. You know what I mean? So, like, and I don't think, you know, it's a slippery slope because on the one hand, overall, I don't think that actors should be able to dictate their own storylines. But you know, Tony, he single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, he with Jeannie Francis saved the show, and Luke, you know, he in a lot of ways carried the show even when Jeannie Francis wasn't on. So he's earned his right to have some say, but there were moments, especially when Tony was retiring, that really felt like, I don't know, it just felt really disappointing because Tony Geary didn't want flashbacks, so they didn't have flashbacks for his exit storyline at all. And like, when you're a character who's been on for, what was it, like freaking 40 years at that point, I think. Hold on, 70, what was he, 78? 88, 98, 2008, 2018. Yeah, 40 years on the show. And we didn't get a flashback. Like, we should have been getting flashback montages and, like, really good goodbyes and, you know. And they should have played up the Luke and Laura bit for the end, at least in a more endear way. And all it was Laura getting a letter from Luke. And I feel like the writers did that after Tony left, just to give them something. And then Laura never read the letter on screen. We don't know what it said. They have to at least mention Monica. Yeah, if we can't see her, they gotta, like, give us something, yo. It's too jarring. Seen an interview with him a few years ago. I think him and Jeannie Francis do not get along. I don't know. I think that they get along, but I think that because Luke was so over Luke and Laura that, you know, for many years, well, here's what I think, and I can't say for certain if this is true or not, but because Luke didn't want Luke and Laura, I think that really for a long time hindered most chances of Jeannie Francis returning to the show while Luke was on the show. So, you know, because, like, why would you want Luke, like, I think from, like, any person who knows GH and knows Luke and Laura, why are you going to have Tony Geary and Jeannie Francis on at the same time and not have them together? And it's because Tony didn't want Luke and Laura together. So we literally had to wait till Tony Geary retired to get Jeannie Francis back full time. But I think that regardless of that, I think Jeannie still respected him as a person and as an actor and as a scene partner who, you know, really helped put herself on the map on GH, you know? Tony and Jeannie really did that for each other. But, you know, I think for any actor, really, it's playing a certain thing for so many years, it does get probably tiresome. It's probably why we have, like, Sonny and Nina right now, because Maurice probably got tired of playing Sonny and Carly over and over again. And even Laura Wright has said this in interviews, even with Maurice Bernard, saying that when she came on, Maurice was over the Sonny and Carly pairing. So we got her with Alcazar and we got her with Jax for many, many years. And they didn't explore Sonny and Carly again until many years after. Except for, you know, them, like, sleeping with each other on one-night stands and stuff. Luke should hate Sonny, but they didn't hate each other. Yeah, exactly, Sandy. It's the same with Sonny and Carly. But yeah, like, I don't know. I can see why Luke and Sonny liked each other, but I think after the Ethan situation, it should have hindered their relationship a bit more than it did. I think he was tired of playing out their love craziness for so long. I agree with you. Yeah, like that's the reality of it. And I can understand that to an extent, but if GH were to end, like, you know, get canceled and they had to start writing a finale, like, it would be weird to not put Luke and Laura together and end in the sunset. But I don't know if Tony would just be on the ball for that. Like, I think, you know, he's set in his ways, and I think that's permanently hindered any chance of Luke and Laura getting back together. And it would be one thing if Tony was on the show, but he's a retired actor. He doesn't have to come back for the end of the show either. The show would want him to, for sure, but he's not going to say no. I mean, he's not going to say yes if the game plan is probably to put Luke and Laura together and go off in the sunset. Kylon, you said like he's like Harley is. Oh, Carly's not good character for somebody with bipolar disorder. Yeah, I mean, Sonny and Carly. Well, I think the whole sort of thing with them is that they were always kind of toxic for each other, right? So, you know, it certainly didn't help. General Hospital was at the end. I would say let's have a picture, a backtrack of him being like, come on, Laura, come on. Tony is almost 80. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, GH is all the stars of yesteryear are getting up there in age. That's just the reality. That's life. A lot of them still look fantastic, but like, you know, they're retired and they're tired and they deserve to stay in retirement, unless they don't want to. You know, Jane Elliott, she wanted to come back and be a part of the 60th anniversary, so she did, and it's a long-term story. So I'm stoked for it because I adore Jane Elliott, but she's doing that on her own terms. She wanted to come back. But I do, at this point, I respect any of the old school cast to not want to work anymore. And in that kind of same spirit, like, if in Leslie Charleston's case, if Leslie wants to retire and not be on the show anymore, then I would respectfully accept that. But we just don't know what's going on, and I hate that. Sonny and Carly are toxic but belong together, so they cannot affect other people with their toxicity. Oh, good point. Good point. They deserve each other, basically. What would Jocelyn think if Sonny and Carly got back together? Oh, man. The thing is, though, like, Carly is a lot less toxic than she was in her sort of prime as a character. But Carly's kind of a big old question mark now. Like, no, it feels like they don't really know what to do with her. Like, it was cool that they kind of had her find her footing with her family for a bit and go back and kind of rehash some, like, old family wounds. And I like that she changed her last name to Spencer, and because it kind of brings the Spencer name back onto the show when it's been sorely missed. You know, Laura is a Collins now. Lulu's in a coma. There's no Spencers on the show, really. Bobby's barely on, so Bobby and Carly kind of had to carry that legacy. Jocelyn is still Jocelyn Jax, though, so there's that. With Joss will be off the canvas. I don't think so. We stuck with her, y'all. They're trying to invest in Joss and Dex, I think. Just like they're investing in Trina and Spencer. I just wish... Like, I appreciate that GH is trying to invest in newer couples. And kind of rolling with the popularity of certain people, because Trina and Spencer and Joss and Dex, whatever you guys think of them personally, They do seem to have their big fan bases. I like Trina and Spencer. Not so much a fan of Joss and Dex, mostly because of Joss. And also, Dex is such a new character that it's like, I don't know. We need to see the end of this certain story with Sunny and see where they go with his character from there. And then I'll kind of assess them a bit more. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of neither here or there with them. Jocelyn never witnessed a Sunny and Carly breakup before, so she's new. Michael should be pro by now. Yeah, dude, he used to lock them into the basement to try and get them back together. Man, are you saying that they need to make Jocelyn messy, Kaiwan? I wouldn't mind a messy Jocelyn. I need her to own that she's like a bit of a wreck. Like, I think the one thing with Joss, since Adam McCoy came on, they really tried to like Disney princess her out. You know what I mean? Like her like tragic relationship with Oscar, and you know, she was just kind of like this little wallflower, this innocent thing, and I'm like, no, let her be messy. Let her be messy. But I'm also like, you know, I'm like, let Cameron be messy. Messy teens is what it's all about. Jocelyn's already a mess. Yeah, she's already messy, but only in the sense of like, she's hooking up with this hot guy. But she's just not like owning it. She's like, you know, I don't know. Like, she was a bit messy, like cheating on Cameron, sure. But she, I don't know. I feel like she just tries to like play it off in a way that Carly wouldn't play it off. I respect Carly because she owns her mess. Yeah. Poor Cam. Poor Cam indeed. Yeah, they were trying to make a main character on the show, but she's letting him go to the show. Trina's the main character. Trina Robinson Maddox. But yeah, like, it's so funny because you could kind of tell, like, let's take things back to like Sydney Michaela and her coming on as Trina and her interacting with Spencer. You could tell that the writers really were trying to play up Joss and Cam and trying to leave kind of Trina, I don't know, Trina as like the third wheel. Because I think a lot of people were cheering for Trina and Cam, you know? But they just like had her like friend zone him instantly. Where people were, I think, thoroughly enjoying like how Trina and Cameron were getting close. And then of course they brought Spencer for Trina, and then they kind of got lightning in a bottle there. So I don't know. But now I think that, you know, because of the work that Sydney and Nicholas did, and then Tabiana and Nicholas did thereafter, they realized that, oh, we can't ignore this couple. They're like a couple that fans are coming and tuning in for. Oh, you saw that they might recast Jake, so maybe Jake will be let out of the closet. Yeah, Elizabeth's kids, man, they're all MIA. I mean, Cameron's slightly less so, but Jake and Aiden haven't been seen on screen in a long time. They're probably in college by now, y'all. Yeah, we need to see Aiden too. Alright, y'all. But it's starting to get late. I don't want to keep y'all up. So this Sunday we will recap GH, the week that it was, the first week of March. And we will, you know, talk about our predictions furthermore on the weekend as well. And then, yeah, I don't know if I'll live stream next Wednesday. We'll see. We'll talk about it on Sunday. And just because I'm wanting to take a little bit of a break from like the midweek live streams for a bit, just to work on some other stuff. Some, you know, perhaps some song stuff. We'll see. Shouldn't Jake be graduating high school by now? Probably. Good night, all. Hit thumbs up. Oh, thanks, Sandy. You're always looking out for me. But yeah, if you appreciate the live stream, even though it was kind of like off the cuff, give it a big old thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Sunday for an all-new General Hospital after show. Peace out. Mwah.